$250,000 Super High Roller Championship here at the Party Poker Live Caribbean Poker Party. We are, of course, in the Bahamas Resort and Casino. And this is how your final 6 stack up in this ginormous buy-in event. Steffen Sontheimer is the chip leader, only player over the 10 million chip mark. David Peters not too far behind, 9.3 million. I can welcome to the box for the first time this week, but not the first time, none other than Dietrich Fast. How are we doing, Didi?
I'm good, thank you. 5 minutes late, but...
Not even. I saw you were in the cafe just finishing off your breakfast.
That's true, yeah. So that's the first hand. I didn't miss anything.
You didn't miss anything. What you missed was Ike taking one down. Big blind is 70,000.
So where's the clock? Do we have a clock?
That's a good
one. So we're just not playing.
He needs the pressure. He can't play without the clock.
Shot clock.
Interesting point. Shot clock is, of course, in play.
I think King 3 offsuit is a marginal call, but as the shortest stack, I think, and against the button raise, you should defend that hand. Well,
I don't mind
see
doing
what
it.
Nick is
doing. Are you going to say 10 seconds?
I don't see anyone that's in a rush.
No, Elio left looking for it. Here he comes.
Oh, it's 15. 15, it's 13. Better hurry up.
No rush.
Thank you. Can you add about 3 minutes to the tournament clock?
Oh,
Can you add about 3 minutes to the tournament clock? We pause play until it gets it.
All right, we're good now.
All right, we are good. Finally, we see this flop. King 7-3. It was worth waiting for.
That's
if you're
one
Nick
of the
Petrangelo.
flops he's looking for, right? He's getting his stack in any turn. If it's a 5 of diamonds or something, or ace of diamonds.
Right. Of course, from Mikita's point of view, the short stack is going to find it hard to continue with a lot of hands. Look at this.
That's a small check raise.
Right, is that a function of how small Mikita's flop bet was?
If he's check raising, he can't check raise too big just because then he commits himself. A lot of hands with all the gut shots, with ace highs with the backdoor flush draw and stuff like that. Even ace high now with the backdoor straight draw is fine for him to call. So he needs some draws. And now I can't see anything else than a jam just to protect against the 1 diamond hand.
280.
Oh, he's going less than jam. He's trying to squeeze some value out of this hand.
I mean, 280 is basically a jam just because if Mikita jams here, he's not folding.
No.
It's just
Mikita with this hand, just obviously nothing.
Yeah, obviously he folds here, but he tries to, with that sizing, he tries to
240.
Put certain hands into a tough spots which are close between call and fold, and if he jams, these hands are not tough anymore. Mikita can fold.
Right.
But at the same time, he has. I don't think he has a range which bet folds there with that sizing.
In the small blind, looking at an ace deuce suited, and there we go. No surprise to see that move, is there?
This is a close situation for Steffen, just because Nick can't jam here too wide.
Always a big bubble for min cash is 3 bunts, so having that chip lead on the bubble is going to be really advantageous.
Yeah. So if this call makes him almost no chips, doesn't make sense, right? Even if it's plus EV, you need to think about the future game as well, right? And that's why he folded. That's why it's for sure
1.8.
To start?
A call which doesn't make, like, it's not a great call like King Jack suited here. It maybe makes money, and it's good to defend your button, so people are not opening too wide. Okay, this one. There's always, even your last in chip, are some ICM implications involved, so you can't just go crazy just because you're the last in chips.
But when you need 2 people to bust, maybe it's a little less. If it was one
person
person to bust, you're always just 1 cold deck away from watching 2 big stacks get it in. Nick, of course, making top pair with his King 8.
So what is he calling here? Flush draws, maybe suited wheel ace. Does he have deuces or 5s? Probably 5s, probably no deuces. Would he call pocket 5s on the flop? Maybe he would raise.
Not a good card for either player, right? Sean does have some ace highs when he bets the flop, and of course, as you say,
Yeah, I mean, now
Mix.
the wheel aces are there. There's
Right.
only the flush draws. Maybe some hand like queen jack of spades now is a strong hand. So for Sean, this is like, all right, I'm giving up here. I don't
Yep.
think I win a lot of the times just because maybe Nick has something like 6-5 of clubs or something, but that's about it. So this goes check check on the river and Nick is winning. Or is he looking for?
here we
No,
go.
he's not.
I mean, there's just too many
Especially-
times Nick bets into a stronger hand, isn't there?
Especially with the 9 of spades.
King 3.
We're-
King 8. Close.
Wow.
That's why he folded.
You can smell them.
Yeah.
Sean looks down at aces on the button.
Is the flat call?
Right, and this is an extension sort of, he just doesn't have that many hands. I guess he's going to 3-bet. And of course, Steffen in the big blind has the most incentive to make a squeeze play as well, right? So, King 9.
Why is Nick not with his King X in the mix?
Very strong hand here. Does decide to check it over to Sean. Sean with a bet, holding aces. Wow, very disciplined fold from Steffen. Not putting a chip in this pot with.
And David
bet.
should have some King X as well. Yeah.
You know, his equity against a lot of Sean's bluffs isn't that great, right? Because it's sort of the gut
Sean-
shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to continue with his 9-8. If he has 10-9, it's a different story than 9-8.
Sees the turn come 3 of diamonds.
Think-
This gives him. There are some hands he'd fire a second barrel with here, bluffing, right? Those gut shots with flush draws.
Yeah, and he shouldn't expect Tipita's call down a 9x for 3 streets, especially with that big sizing, right?
Right. Yeah, it was 725 into about $1 million.
And this card is an action killer anyway, so.
Expect this one to go check, check. Does indeed. Peters shows his ace-9. Sean's aces.
The ship, that they have a trip, right?
That's right.
On the boat, and
Yeah.
so you can do sport activities here, and the sun is shining every day, so
Yeah, I believe.
even you don't want to play too much poker, just bring your girlfriend or your friends and next year and just have fun, right? You
Right.
don't need to play all these big tournaments. There are some smaller tournaments. Some, I think $1,000 is for some at least. If you go here, yeah, you can
It's
play some
definitely-
poker and.
Yeah, it's definitely a great event to qualify for. You know, we've spoken to people who fired, you know, multiple bullets in the 5K because there's starting days and there's
Yeah.
multiple day 2s. But if it is the place you come and you just want to fire one and you bust out, then you've got to spend the week in the Bahamas. And like you said, there are some events in the evenings as well, much smaller buy-ins, like 250s. And of course, 1,000 today with a 1,000-player guarantee. And yeah, lots of events going on the side. I gather today is the big pool party well, there's 2 pool parties. They literally run back to back. So we've got the daytime one and the evening time one. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm sure as people bust out from the main event on day 3, they'll be heading over there. And yeah, definitely way more attractive coming to places like the Bahamas to play poker than.
Especially in November, right? If it's summer in Europe,
Yeah, then it's great.
then it's different. But in November, where it starts raining more, it's freezing in the morning, and
Well, look at this. Nicky P finding a winning hand on the river once
of
again.
course, with his King X, he's always winning.
Nick going for a 3rd pot on the end.
You can just bet your weaker value hands with the small sizing, because then Mikita can raise him off these hands. And Mikita is folding.
So Nick now to 3.3 million in chips.
I think Mikita said pass, right?
He did.
Is that an English word?
Yeah.
Because he's
you ever
from
start playing PLO?
he speaks Russian, and I know
You're gonna-
the Russian word for
you're
fold
gonna
is
be
pass as
tanking.
well. So
Oh, there we go.
Say pass.
that's why he probably
And they're
says,
gonna like snap muck their hand.
instead of saying fold
It's
or
too much
muck,
like
he
pass.
says pass.
The players are discussing it now.
Or
Like when
they
you first start playing, they'll figure it out. Like,
are they going to change short deck to pot limit pre-flop?
maybe at some point eventually.
Oh, those poor dealers that have to count.
It's fun enough now, if they're bluffing, of course.
But with pot limit, you can play deeper stacks, and it still makes sense.
It was tough for them to handle that, and then it's of course not not fair, kind of not fair, just because some dealers are good with it and then the others not, and then it's not the you should always find a way that every player has a fair same chance and same amount of time and so on, right? All right, back to poker. Ike opened, Steffen defended, and we see an interesting monotone flop. Ike flops the 10 high flush draw and Steffen the top pair.
Yeah, and Steffen, of course, does check it to Ike. 455,000 chips in the pot. Ike decides to check back.
And hits the river, right?
Well, ace on the turn is a good card for him, isn't it? He would have raised with one of his aces and check back on the flop with them. So
I think he prefers the ace.
yeah, half pot is the bet from Ike.
Puts Steffen, a lot of hands of Steffen in a bad spot. I think King Queen is not one of them. Still good enough to call. Steffen of course thinks that Ike is not betting too light here. So not easy to continue on the river as well.
Right.
But on the turn, King, Queen is still good enough. Steffen knows he has all the ace-X as well. And Ike made a straight. Isn't that awesome for Ike?
He makes a straight, but also that flush, of course, losing just to the ace or queen of clubs.
Yeah, this is check, bet, fold. Probably something like half pot.
There you go, 460 the bet.
That's kind of half pot, right?
Yeah.
I usually give myself a little bit more time, not going in this call or fold modus, just to make sure that I don't make a mistake. And I think, oh, I should, maybe there's I see something weak of Ike, and now I want to make chips with that, right? But if you go into your chill modus, you can't raise anymore.
Yeah. Look at this. D. Peters, very playable ace-king suited under the gun. He raises. Steffen looks at ace-jack suited in the small blind. Of course, he continues
Queen,
with a call.
Jack, 10, all hearts.
That'll be a little
Oh
difficult.
no, Queen, King, Queen, 10, all hearts.
Oh, Jack 7-7. Flop favors Steffen, of course. Top pair, top kicker, and the backdoor heart draw.
Could see Steffen check raising.
And wow, what a card for Steffen. Improves to a full house, and Peters' ace-king looks all that much stronger. Now, of course, ahead of some of the smaller pocket pairs Steffen may appear with from the small blind.
10-9 suited, 9-8 suited.
So he's bet 150 into 450. David, of course, didn't no option in but to call, right?
D. Peters is calling his ace-king high. Not sure if I like that call.
Well, spade on the river won't be a card.
675? 575.
And really hard for Peters now, of course. Like you say, he's going to have plenty of better hands to call with here. All his flushes. Obviously a fold there. An action player, like a recreational player with the chip lead. Someone like Leon just in there, just mashing buttons against him. Because
To be honest, Leon he's changing dynamics so much, right? Because if he's mid-stack, he doesn't care busting or not.
Right.
So you always have to figuring out how you want to deviate from your regular strategy. And sometimes they deviate as well, like D. Peters with his big 3-bet.
Look at this flop. Steffen raising the cutoff, Ike defending the big. Both players flop top pair on Jack 6-8. But Ike with the flush draw and Steffen with the backdoor nut flush draw.
That's a sick flop.
Steffen bets. Of course, Ike would just call here, right?
This might go on the turn. Check, bet, jam.
Well, Ike picks up the straight draw to go with his flush draw. All right, Ike has quite a few hands that...
This turn card is not so good for Steffen.
I mean, Ike has hands like 7-8, 8-10,
Yeah.
9-10 now that will make pair and
these
draw.
hands he want to protect against. At the same time, Ike has 9-8, Jack 9,
Right.
6-9, 7-10, 7-5, right? So Queen 10. If Ike is going all, he's just going. Ike is going all in. I can't see Steffen folding. He's like, meh, I don't want to call and calls, but
Right, because there's some 7x with diamonds, 10x with diamonds that might turn the hands into bluff. And what a river for Steffen. He wasn't quite sure.
what hand Ike is calling an all in here, right? His pot left.
Right,
Steffen could use a smaller sizing.
Right, Ike probably check jams his
But
2 pairs on the turn. Right, so he doesn't have those too often, right? So Steffen's targeting more 1-pair combos here, right?
The thing is, if Ike has a lot of 2-pair combos check jamming on the turn, what hands he now is calling, which Steffen has beat, right?
Yeah.
So Ike has all his straights.
Yep.
But has not too many 2-pairs.
I call.
Well, he does make the call. Steffen tables top 2, and that's it. Ike Haxton out in 6th. Pretty cold flop for him there. And a turn that gave him a straight draw. Like you said, just a lot of bluffs that Steffen can have.
Yeah.
In Montreal during the big cash game. They put it up on the TVs behind the feature table, and it was a lot of fun because the guys are sitting there watching, oh, you bluffed me in this hand, oh, you did this.
I think Aussie Millions did it as well with the TV. I think it's so much better. And at some final tables, you're not even allowed to watch on your phone on the table. You always have to stand up, go a few meters away. I think it's a stupid rule. Just give them the show, and I think the whole production is more successful. It's more fun.
I agree, and it's something I'm sure will be under consideration. Well, this flop, David makes top pair. Is going to bet the King 9-9 board into the chip leader. Steffen, of course, 2 unders in the flush draw.
Steffen has a lot of 9x here.
Right.
David has some, of course, but not too many. Not as many as Steffen, for sure. Steffen wants to check raise a lot. He could use this hand as a check raise.
He is reaching for chips. Does make it 375. And this is exactly what we were saying. With that chip lead now, you can really apply pressure to these guys. A 10 does mean, 10-9 a little less likely. But I guess Steffen peeling probably the widest from the big blind with the chip lead, so maybe not too important a blocker. Oh, Steffen picks up a gut shot straight draw now to go with that flush draw.
Yeah, and he will continue. Kind of big.
Right, David's still going to have some ace highs. I guess some of his gut shots on the flop may have called one.
He can put King X in a tough spot as well.
Right, yeah, now hands like King 10.
With the bad blocker, and 10 of clubs is now a really bad blocker, because it didn't improve to a gut shot or something. So now he blocks potential bluffs from Steffen.
Steffen's not gone too big here.
Yeah.
450 into 1.1, 1.2.
Don't think he has a 2-size strategy on this turn. 8 of spades.
6 of clubs. Steffen makes that flush, but of course would lose to all 9x. Nice to have. There you go. You called it 550,000 the bet. And now it's surely really difficult for David to call with the primary bluffs, having made a hand by the end. He does make the call without too much thought.
Yeah. His bad blocker on the turn shifted to a good blocker now.
Right.
Thinking left and right.
Let's flick in the chips for the call.
But I tell you what, he will now wear his glasses.
And Goose with the trademark.
Nicky P folded the queen.
Right. Yeah, these equities are assuming all cards are live, but we did see Nick folded the same hand Mikita has.
Yeah, Mikita always uses his full 30 seconds to be balanced and to give him enough time to think about it. I don't like that too much because at some on the flop you probably know 95% of your decisions after 3 seconds.
Right, especially on a texture like this, right?
So give yourself 20 seconds. It his way to.
Steffen ramping up the pressure. That's 1 million.
Yeah.
Really now Mikita knows he could easily be facing an all-in jam on the river. It makes it very hard to proceed with a lot of hands. With the jack does make the turn cool. 6 of diamonds on the end. Steffen does have a lot of diamond combos when he fires twice at this board.
I think Steffen goes all in and Mikita folds.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good run out for the bluff.
Yep. There you go.
Nice play from Steffen.
And this
Mikita just shakes his head.
And he folds. He knows he's kind of bottom now of his range. He doesn't need to call all his jack eggs, especially the queen. Blocks potential bluffs like ace queen.
Right.
He wants to call because of the reasoning, right? Steffen should bluff here a lot.
Yep.
And that's the same why Steffen went all in with the ace jack, because he want to bluff in these kind of situations, so he needs to have some thin value, like maybe here is it king jack, you know?
Right.
And you don't like your jam, but you need to put in value hands as well if you want to bluff a lot. And
Mikita, 18 bigs from the small.
1.1.
Yeah, he does raise it up, making it 1.1 million, leaving just 750k behind. And Sean surely will be putting this in with nines. There we go. It is in, and straight away, an all-in and cool. Jack 8-4, no use to Mikita. Well, set for Sean, but now Mikita open-ended. Queen or 7 now his outs to win this one. And 7, there it is.
This is where the magic starts, you said?
Mikita back in the game. Still the shortest stack, but you see there, within a million chips of Sean. That's only 10 big blinds.
This game is too simple.
Germans are nosy. They're always 7 in the river.
Germans are nosy?
No, they know.
Steffen making the adjustment by
River's always a 7.
coming out with a raise from the small blind, going to try and pressure Peters, given the other
There
two
hasn't
are
been many
considerably
7
shorter
rivers
than him.
We were due. But I mean, 7s are only coming in an important moment. 7 are waiting till it's the right moment to come.
It's my fault for turning a set.
You wished too much on the pre-flop. You wanted a set, right?
No.
No, you didn't.
Oh. Peters did peel with 8-4 of hearts. Queen 9-3 flop checks through. Him to get paid here, David having 8 high.
Then that's 675. Oh, go down.
Yeah, he just lost that flip 9s against Mikita's ace 10. Mikita playing the same hand again here.
Oh.
Oh, Queen 4 deuce 1 heart.
I'm saying it's fine to check as well, but I think he's going to bet. I'm saying, like, just because he's the aggressor and he's got the best hand a lot of the time, and he just wants to just take it down.
Right, he's just going to bet this texture really high percentages and he having open under the gun four-handed.
Yeah. It's a good flop to bet, obviously. Let's say, for instance, it was like Queen 6-4.
Right.
He would check it back, I'm pretty sure.
Sean, of course, making the call with top pair. 9 of diamonds doesn't change anything.
I can guarantee my life on it goes check, check.
Yeah, Mikita.
This is the thing about Texas Hold'em. On certain turn cards, it's always going to just go check, check.
It does go check, check. Oh, both players improve on the river. Mikita making a second pair. Sean top 2.
Sean should definitely bet like at least half pot here, and Mikita will call. If he bets like half pot, Mikita calls for sure. He's still got a lot of, like, he's got some draws that have missed as well. He's checked. Surprised at that. He's got some draws that have missed, like 5-6.
5-6,
3-5
ace
suited.
3, ace 5 that might turn to bluffs.
Yeah, like obviously some ace 3s, ace 5s for sure, yeah.
Right,
Or maybe
some
some
of those
sort
pocket
of
pairs.
Or maybe some sort of pair of 5s that wouldn't just go
625.
ballistic.
625.
Well, it's just going to be a snap call for Sean. He's not going to raise here because Mikita could have King Jack and just decided not to double barrel it.
Right.
So if he were to raise, he would have to just like straight up min raise to get called off a like, I don't know, like ace 10 obviously, or some sort of jacks to bet the flop.
Mikita declared ace 10. We can see, of course, no good. Sean back up towards 5.9. Mikita back down to 2.8. So again, the dynamic shifting. $9.50 the bet. Steffen with the pair. I was going to continue here. $10-8 deuce the flop, and Ludo 7s with the 7 of diamonds. Not the worst looking board for his hand. This is a spot where Sean has to check a lot of hands, so kings make sense to check as well. And you can see he's reaching for chips and he's going to bet, but he bets 2/3, 1.4.
I like the sizing. Hopefully it comes like a 4. Hopefully it comes the 4 of spades and he shoves all in. An 8's not too bad. There's a few combos of the 8s, obviously, like you've got the 7-8 suited, but might peel, but it's just about borderline. 8-9 suited could peel pre-flop easily.
All in.
Does make the move.
Steffan's got a bit of a decision here.
All right.
But he's not going to take much time, but it looks like
strongest hand in poker.
I thought he was going to take a bit more time than that, to be honest.
No, stronger. Strongest hand in poker.
What is that?
I'll give you a hint. Glad that you didn't see the river.
The river was a 7?
Probably.
So I take it Steffan's favourite hand is pocket 7s.
Ah, lucky 7s, they always hit. Everyone knows that, Ludo. Does go for the 3-bet.
3-bet's totally fine as well, but
Sizing a little small.
that's the thing as well, he's unbalanced here. So like if he had pocket kings, he goes like 950. If he's got 8-7 suited, he kind of takes a tad off and makes it 850. I think if he's going to 3-bet, he's going to have to keep it consistent and make it 950.
Yeah, interesting. Of course, 3-betting a different stack this time is the only caveat to that.
Oh well, for sure, yeah. That is also very true. Obviously, like in this exact situation, stack depth is a lot shallower than it was before.
Right, and he's 3-betting at button open rather than the cutoff open as well, which does make a slight difference. But I'm with you still, Ludo. I'd like to see him go a little bit bigger anyway.
Yeah.
And Peters just drops the hammer with a pair.
All in with ace-4 clubs, huh?
I think he's a bit annoyed he didn't peel there, but the 3-bet's fine as well. I don't think you can 3-bet, and he's got too many chips to jam, so he just calls.
And wow.
Exactly 25% pot. So like, now he bets this time, like,
But the thing working against Peters here, I guess, is some of Goose's double barrel bluffs are going to be hands like 5-6, 3-5 maybe.
I don't know. I'm saying, like, obviously, D. Peters still has a lot of ace highs here and king highs that would have called the flop. He might even call with Jack 10 sometimes as well, who knows, because his bet's so small. So, like...
Peters certainly would want Goose to have some 5s in his range, though. Well, this card should slow things down.
I don't think so. He's going to still bet this.
I mean, from
I know the flush gets there, but he still has to try and get value off a queen. It's just about how much does they bet.
From Peters' point of view, I mean, he obviously beats very little now.
No, nothing more than half the pot.
He has gone a little bit over half pot, 1.85.
Good fold. King, 2, 8, 2 spades.
Sean with top pair. Let's check it back.
He must have pocket kings if he's checked that back. Oh my god, there's a deuce of spades.
Wow. Steffen turning gin. Bottom set. Peters,
I don't know if Sean's checked this back. He may have pocket kings.
Obviously going to check back quite a lot of his air and wants to throw in some king X. Obviously.
No, but the big blind has so many nines. I'm saying like 9-10, 9 jack, 9 queen, 8-9, 7-9, 5-9 suited, 6-9 suited. Like theory-wise, he has to call. And then assess the situation.
Sean, well, again, we don't know his other card, but whatever it is, we're calling here, right? Steffen can't believe his luck.
What
Betting bottom set on a completely broken board, getting 2 callers.
Oh, imagine that was a 6. That would be interesting. Or a 9.
Wow.
I think he has
To
to
me,
go,
a spot's
he
go big, but-
has to go quite big. He has to go like 70%.
1.75 million. A little in between the two.
An easy, easy fold. And then Sean just obviously always calls. No! Wait there, come on.
Wow.
No. Wait there, what did he have? What king did he have?
We don't know.
Obviously he must have had like the worst king. He must have had king 3 of diamonds.
Right.
Or king 5 of diamonds. He must have had that. Obviously the problem is there, Goose Code doesn't have a lot of bluffs. But he could be value betting.
No idea.
Forgot.
I know nothing.
You probably buy a drink.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to think what I would do with 2.5 million. And I can't think.
Well, whilst you think about that, Sean's open ace-9 on the button. Steffen defended ace-3 in the big, and it's come queen 7-3, so not only does he flop a pair,
It's a dicey board. I expect Sean to check it back.
but he has the ace of spades as well, so we'll be happy playing this one. Sean is reaching for chips.
Steffen's not going anywhere with the ace of spades in his hand. And obviously he's paired the bottom pair. I think I like the check back here with ace-9 on this exact texture. Oh. Oh.
Well, that is a spicy run out for Steffen. Trip 3s against the second pair.
Go for it, Steffen. I know you've got some bluffs, so you have to bet.
Right.
Yeah, if you have
he has
like
4-5,
but you've got,
5-6.
but he's got the
miss
ace of spades in his hand. Okay, he's got the ace of spades in his hand, so check. Okay, I like it. Because he's got showdown with the ace of spades in his hand. But obviously he's got a very good hand. Sean's going to go for some value here, I think, and try and get called off of ace high or maybe even some king highs. King jack, king 10. And obviously he's trying to get called off a 7. Right, let's take a guess at the sizing here from Steffen. How much is he going to make it? 2.8 million. I'm going to go for 2.8 million. Here we go, 2.8, 2.7, 3.2. Ah,
3.2 the bet.
he's went 4x. I thought he would have went 3.5. Damn it.
Well, Sean's squirming at this one.
2/3 of
I
the
don't know
pot.
why I'm not jamming.
Wow. Well, I think jamming would be an odd play.
But no, jamming would be sick because like it doesn't make any sense and it looks like he's not bluffing.
Right.
So you would think he has pocket nines.
Just let you get away with a Queen Jack.
I don't think he's check raising Queen
Just
Jack.
let you
that's
get
the
away
point.
with Queen Jack.
Queen Jack?
Yeah, I don't know. What did you have? You bluffing?
Definitely not Queen Jack.
I don't know. What did you have?
What did you have? You weren't bluffing me?
Peters is going to just check. This is quite interesting. There's a lot of low cards. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Queen Jack 8. Steffen flops best once more.
Boring flop. We wanted some action.
Turbo checks to Mikita.
200.
He's going to make a little bet. Protect those fives, of course. Both these guys have a lot of just check folds that have decent equity.
Well, I don't like the bet, but I understand the bet because if he's limping the button, he's going to have 8, 9, and 9,
Right.
10, and Queen Jack, Jack 10, and Queen 10. So that's part of his limping range, so he has to be. And he's going to give this up. If he bets, he's just trying to get like 8, 9 to fold or 8, 10 or something, or like because Jack 9 or Jack 10 is not folding. So like, it would be trying to like target get.
Well, he is going for it, and obviously not going to work here. Steffen with top and bottom.
The Queen's not going to fold. Obviously Queen 2, which is 2 pair, that's not folding. But it would be interesting if it comes a 5. Oh, so close.
6 on the end.
So close. If it came a 5, it would have been fun.
Does give it up. Steffen tables 2 pair. Gets to 18.5 million and chips Mikita down to just 4 million. Sub 25 big blind opener.
He's on the button, there's 2 players behind him. He's definitely going to just call.
He does do just that.
Oh,
Mikita quickly
folded
folds.
with 8, 9 suited.
Yeah, Mikita just sees obviously Peter's in a pot. There's a chance he just ladders up this hand.
Yeah, this is true as well. Steffen takes the price.
Eight, 4, 3. Steffen flops best once more.
I think he's got to just check it and just hopefully find a hand shortly and see what happens.
And the short stab here. Backdoor hearts. Good chance of having the best hand anyway.
I don't mind both. I don't mind the bet and I don't mind the check. Both options are fine.
Yeah, I like this. He's going to bet. Quite sizable as well. 550 into 9.
This is a disaster spot for Steffen. Like, I'm saying, like, out of position. It's going to come some nasty cards. But he's going to find the call. It's just one of those ones, like, 2 spades there. Obviously, he's got the 5, which helps.
Well, it
And
helps on that
it
turn
helps a
card.
lot now.
Sean going to fire a second barrel here with the picked up hearts.
It's another one of those ones again. Remember when he picked up the diamonds? But it was a card that hits the range.
Right,
So, like, this is one of the hearts that I think he's going to check it back.
right.
Whereas if it was to come, like, the 10 of hearts, perfect.
Yeah,
Or the Jack of hearts, or
Right.
whatever.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Or the 9 of hearts. 8, 9 of hearts has been folded.
There you go. Sean does check back. Jack on the end. Now, Sean can have some Jack X here, of course, just some hands that did bet the flop and his Jack high spade draws, or Jack X spade draws, I should say. And of course, Jack X heart draws, as we just said. He probably doesn't barrel the deuce of hearts with those, so Well, he does just give it up. Steffen nearly at 20 million.
Also sparkling.
Mikita limps the small with his 4s. Steffen will look at 5-6 offsuit in the big blind. He checks. Let's be careful on this texture. Mikita does have a lot of stabs. So. When he checks,
140.
he's going to continue a fair percentage of the time. As you'd imagine, of course, very balanced Mikita. Well, wouldn't you know it, Steffen turns a pair and takes the lead in this one. Mikita checks. Expect Steffen to do the same. Well, he is going to bet. 525,000 into 700. Steffen somehow found the part of Mikita's range that isn't a draw and does call. 10 of diamonds on the river, not a great card for either player. Mikita could have some high flushes. Steffen's bluffs also include flush draws. Does go check, check. And wow, that is how Goose is running today. Sean, a little over 50 bigs deep. 3-bet. Like to see him go 4x. Well, he's going to flat. Okay. Doesn't have a lot of 3-bets against the chip leader. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he doesn't have any. And wow. King, Queen, 3, rainbow. Steffen flopping kings up. Sean with ace. This could get messy. He could take a huge stride towards the title if he can take a big lump out of the second biggest stack. Sean calls, and now you expect to see Steffen size up. Oh, he's going very big. 2 million. And this setting up for a river jam. Sean calls here. He'd have 5.4 back, and that would be the size of the pot. Well, the two short stacks loving it, seeing this action take place. Chance to ladder up. And well, it won't be a ladder up because Sean makes aces up on the river. The 5 counterfeiting Steffen's 2 pair. He quickly checks back. And well, Steffen sees just how unlucky he was. A brick and he would have got the lot.
No way. You snap check back king queen. Are you serious?
Well, he didn't check back king queen. It's king 3.
Oh, king 3, huh? Queen 3, queen 3. Okay, I believe it. I believe it.
Wow.
I believe queen 3.
That was unlucky for 3 players at the table, I guess.
There we go. Sean would have had to check call that jam on the river with aces.
He's like, Sean's limped so much. He's always got like ace 2 and up or something. Yeah, you got to call.
Does make the call. Gamble, gamble. Makita at risk.
Yeah, I want Mikita to win for the little ICM like pressure cooker like, to continue.
He's out in front here and sees an ace 9 deuce flop. That's about
good at all.
As good as it gets. Mikita, you see, with just a 3% chance, needs a runner help here.
Again, though, 250k pressure cooker, final table. You know, like, easy to make. Like.
Well, he's in the game. King or jack. Not a heart there, of course.
Trip kings on the river.
1 king, 2 jacks.
That's right. What? 1 king?
2 kings he can hit.
Oh, 2 kings.
There we go. Mikita's with us.
10% easy.
That's 9%.
3 on the end. That is the end of Mikita Badziakouski's attempt to take down this super high roller. A man who loves these big barn events. Does pick up $710,000 for his effort. Steffen 2.5xing, and well, David surely all in here.
Yeah, he can't fold, honestly. Because Sean, you just want Sean to fold constantly.
Yeah.
I fold. No folding.
Sean quickly folds. Steffen will quickly call. And
good luck, David. I just root for the shorter stack usually.
And so, yeah, quickly, we may get a heads up. We have forehanded for hours.
It'd be interesting to see heads up.
9-5-5
$1 million.
to Sean watching.
Oh, there's a few boats out there now.
Right, yeah. 5
Few
for a
little
king for a chop.
outfits. Yeah. I'm always rooting for a chop.
Keep the situation going.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Pulling the ships back because it's going to hit a queen.
Wow, that's strong.
It's a queen.
It isn't a queen, it is the 6 of spades. And like I said, as quick as that, we lose 4th and 3rd in a matter of few hands.
Yeah. Let's take one.
Buy-ins.
Yeah, it'd be scary that how much you can get through these days in a year.
You don't see them re-entering either, you know? It's sometimes that when it's the final table, they're saying, oh, he's on his 2nd bullet, but you don't, like...
And we are now down to 2. It is Steffen Sontheimer with the chip lead, taking on Sean Winter. You see there, well, this could be a long one. 76 big blinds, the effective stack. David Peters and Mikita Badziakouski both just busting in the last, 15 or 20 minutes of play.
Man, the accomplishment is totally different, you know?
I like that. There we go. They're wrestling for the trophy.
Yeah, if it just fell to pieces, it would be a good promo.
Well, only one of them can have that trophy and first prize.
Oh, one card got exposed. Okay, okay, that's what happened.
Wow.
Oh.
All right. Sean finds ace queen on the button.
For the limp.
It's going to be limp raise.
Steffen's going to go for 700 bags.
I mean, I say it's going to be limp raise. We saw Sean do some fine stuff earlier, but this is a lot different. Heads up.
700.
Yeah, Steffen does make it 700.
It's you can still do loads of stuff, really. It's
He's
just
going bigger. Like, oh no, it's 4 red chips. There we go, 2 million. And now, well, Goose will just take his time, just move all in, and then, well, I mean, this is it, right? Sean
Sean kind of just has the call.
It appears to me that Sean is looking, perhaps, just from what we saw earlier, probably happier to play a big pot.
I'd definitely be happy to get this in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be limp calling. You can't really.
Well, there's the all-in from Goose.
He's going to take about.
And Sean. Oh, it looks like he knows he has to call. He does make the call, so suddenly, Tom, we do have an all-in and call with the chip leader having the better hand.
Hold.
Hold, says Steffen, because if he loses, the stacks effectively switch.
Seconds of sweat,
Wow, this could be over in a flash, Tom.
Take the
roast off.
Take the roast out of the oven.
That was quick, wasn't it?
You put it back in the freezer.
Oh, it is not over yet. We saw this the other day in the Millions World with Roger getting queens in against kings of Steve Beaudoin. And so that match extended on, but 10-5-3. Steffen nods. He likes that one.
There's a heart out there.
I have ace king.
That's a funny
game.
game.
Here we go. There's always a chance of a chop. There's something that was going to happen. Either the board pair or it come a deuce or 4.
Don't let you ask for too much. Maybe a deuce?
So a deuce would be a chop.
It's black too.
It might be a 7.
He needs a queen for the win, a deuce for the chop. Otherwise, Steffen will be the champion.
The nature of heads up.
9 on the end, and that's it.
That's it.
That's incredible, Tom. I was
77 big blinds. You know, that's just the nature of heads up. It's just
wow.
You get 2 good hands, you get a pair versus ace queen or whatever. The money just starts
Where's my
flying.
Wow. Well, they were discussing. They have a dinner break.
The dealer gave him a nice applause there. That's rare. That was very nice of her.
I'm kind of shell shocked at how quickly that went.
Yeah. The photos took longer than the heads up.
The negotiation of when to take a break took longer than the poker did.
Yeah, we were outside for like longer than this.
I mean,
well,
Steffen likes that hoodie.
This way you play the same hand, I guess.